Winterburn. Stewart! Arsenal are behind. Stewart. That's a marvellous ball to Damien Matthew. Kerry Dixon is in the middle. Matthew to Dixon, to the back of the net. Campbell. And now Smith has got through and got one back.
There was an element of, if at first you don't succeed about this one. Palace beating Forest for the first time at the 5th attempt this season. Eric Young's header 4 minutes from time to leave them only 3 points behind Arsenal.
The match at White Hart Lane had already been deprived of Spurs' Paul Gascoigne and David Batty, Leeds' own midfield dynamo. Just 2 minutes into the game, the Yorkshire side's top scorer Lee Chapman collapsed on the touchline after a challenge with Steve Sedgley. Chapman received a nasty cut after crashing down on the cinders. For a while it looked serious, but thankfully, after several minutes, he was able to walk away. But not a pretty sight. His presence might have lifted an otherwise drab encounter. Leeds had the better of the action, but all too often their attacks broke down too far from the danger zone for tottering Tottenham. Alan Williams might have made more of this effort, but the match ended goalless.
Having spent 10 years in the 3rd division with Brentford, Sheffield United's Bob Booker isn't going to give up his 1st division status without a fight. He led the way, wearing Vinnie Jones' number 4 shirt, in United's best performance of the season, scoring after 20 minutes and then a minute later. It was a misty old afternoon at Bramhall Lane and a mist in the eyes of Southampton's defenders, who found themselves penned in by the concentration of United's repeated attacks. This is Brian Deane. Glyn Hodges on loan from Crystal Palace. He got the winner against Derby last week and chipped in with the 3rd. The 4th came a minute after that. A suspicion of offside attached, but Brian Deane weighed in with his 12th of the season, 4-0 before the half-hour mark. After the break, which saw the usually laid-back Chris Nicol laying into his team, Southampton pulled one back through Kevin Moore. But Harry's boys are off the bottom for the first time in 4 months.
Don Howe and Bobby Gould must sigh with relief every weekend when they find 11 players fit enough to turn out for Queen's Park Rangers. Kingsley Black gave them more problems, curling that 20-yard free kick at Kenilworth Road. It was stand-in striker Les Ferdinand who was to prove Rangers' salvation. His header put the London side back on level terms. The Luton defence caught napping. Into the 89th minute, they snuffed out a last-ditch Luton attack to send Ferdinand racing towards goal. And a well-placed low drive secures 3 much-needed points for the beleaguered Rangers.
As one reporter put it, this game could give 5-goal thrillers a bad name. Dean Saunders enabled Mick Harford to put Derby in front. And if it's any consolation at all to Derby, which I doubt, it must be that their goals were of greater quality. Their lead lasted 2 minutes when Gary Micklewhite committed Harry Carey, an irrational moment that gave Gordon Cowans the opportunity to score his 1st of the season, Villa's penalty taker in the absence of David Platt. Now, anyone who rings in and votes for Villa's 2nd as a goal of the day contender will be dispatched forthwith to the funny farm, more like a loose scrum, with the ball eventually coming out to Tony Cascarino on the blind side, and his 1st in the league since September. 5 minutes later, Villa took a match-winning lead when the ball was played through for the Tobagan World Cup player Dwight York to score his 1st goal for the club. And a little reminder that Roger Miller and the Cameroons are here this week. Derby's response was a genuine goal of the day contender from Mel Sage, but defeat means they go bottom. 2 points out of the last 27, 6 straight defeats. A genuine crisis.
Everton had only scraped home in their FA Cup tie against non-league Woking last week, and against lowly Sunderland seemed similarly unable to move out of 1st gear. They needed a penalty to break the deadlock. Gary Owers handling midway through the 2nd half. Kevin Sheedy up against Tony Norman. A wonderful instinctive save, but that trusty left foot does the job 2nd time around. Norman made rather more of a mess of Everton's 2nd goal. Neil MacDonald Floats over a cross for winger Peter Beagrie to send a well-directed, though none too powerful header towards his left-hand post.
Since their last outings in the league, Coventry have been removed from both the major cup competitions, Wimbledon out of the FA Cup at Shrewsbury. One goal in it, fashion who's knocked down for the former Coventry man Terry Gibson. Less than 5,000 bothered to turn up.
Norwich haven't beaten Manchester City for 10 years, and at Carrow Road was soon on the receiving end as City's England B international David White starts the afternoon in brilliant form on the right wing. Niall Quinn powering home White's inch-perfect cross in the second minute. If he was in devastating form out on the flanks, White then showed that he has an eye for goal in the penalty box. Mark Ward's free kick nodded down by Quinn, an emphatic finish giving Brian Gunn no chance in the Norwich goal. Norwich continued to play the passing game, which has earned them so many admirers in the First Division. Mark Bowen's cross, and John Polston forces the ball over the line, but it proved to be too little, too late. They'll have to wait another year to beat the Manchester City jinx.
Well, it's a corner for United. Sharp will take it. And plenty of grey shirts in the back, particularly looking for Bruce and for Pallister. That looked like a handball by Hussein. Penalty given. Well, Hussein, I can't understand that. And the Liverpool players look totally nonplussed. Kenny Dalglish can't believe it either. That was amazing.
Well, sometimes when you jump like that and you miss the ball, your arm automatically flicks up. And that's what I think might have happened. I don't think he's actually gone to hit that, but the way he's jumped and the way he started to fall, his arm sort of hurled up and hit it, although it looked blatant. And he had no choice but to give a penalty.
Steve Bruce, 10 goals this season, 7 of them from the penalty spot. He's got it! United go into the lead with 26 minutes gone. Steve Bruce chalks up goal number 11. 8 of them from the spot. Here's Burrows. 1-0 to Manchester United. Certainly take this man of the match award very seriously, the players. Robson. Oh, Barnes, lovely bit of play. Oh, lovely play by Barnes. Now, the little cross to finish it off. It's in there from Speedy. But no doubt who the architect of that was. That was magnificent play by John Barnes. What about that?
It's probably the first time we've seen him really involved in the game, and that was absolutely special. His first bit of footwork that we didn't quite catch, we'll get it here. The little turn there through the back of his own legs, and he just sold about 3 players a dummy. Came through on the outside, a great little cross that Les Seeley couldn't quite reach him.
Just almost got to it, but couldn't quite.
Right.
And there's David Speedy in his first game for Liverpool, scoring the equalising goal.